Hello, I am the Mars Poet and I'm reciting from a book of poems called Poetry's Promise, which can be found on Amazon. It's a therapeutic book of poetry and it takes me through all the challenges and helped me get through them. My biggest challenge was my hair. It still is a challenge, but hey, I wrote a poem about it and hopefully it can help me reconcile with the fact that my hair doesn't grow. I was about 10 when my mum called me in and sat me in front of that stove. When she burnt my ear, I recoiled in fear when the hot comb came towards my afro. Every week it was the same, sooner if it rained, because that's how frizzy it got. My mother would frown, saying I'd let her down for allowing my pressed hair to get wet. Then the chemical straightener took its place. Straight hair in my face. I felt proud of my shiny hairstyle. And it wouldn't change back, even though it got wet. But it became expensive after a while. Besides, the perm had a tendency to burn. So to me, it became quite plain that if I had to wear rubber gloves to get straight hair that I loved, there had to be something wrong with my brain. So along came the weave, another way to deceive, because it camouflaged most of my hair. It served the purpose it should while making me feel good, and I could flaunt it without care. But the weave became expensive and the time it took extensive, and I got bored with its limitations. So I then started to braid, which allowed my hair to behave and gave me license to be more creative. But tight braids stressed the hair. My hairline receded in despair, and I had to abandon this wonderful creation. So wigs came into play, which allowed me to display myself in so many creative dimensions. But then wigs were temporary. They stopped looking bouncy, and sometimes I felt like a fraud. If I put on a short wig one day and a long wig the next, the response I would get is, "Good Lord!" Some people berate C.J. Walker for making our hair straight when she popularised the press and hair curl style. But for us it's convenience and also expedience. It doesn't mean that we're trying to look white. Historically, long hair has been associated with allure. Women with short hair were considered plain. Black men would normally go after long hair that lacked lustre in favour of a nappy-head girl who looked visually the same. Apart from the grooming process and hairstyles complementing the way one is dressed, there isn't much else to compare. So why do we want to finance hair products that continue to give us the Eurocentric version of hair? I'm not brainwashed just because I don't want to grow locks, so what other options are there for me? So rather than distress, I cut off my tress so that my hair and my mind is free. Now I feel like an African, my hair states where I come from, my original living organism. And one thing I know is whether it grows or it doesn't grow, self-appreciation comes from within. So as you can see, I had my hair natural at one point. Now I'm back to the wigs, and that's my hair trials.